occupe la 3e place, donc à égalité de points avec Gauthier Paulin. Et bien cette manche-là va les départager, donc les deux Français. Et devant eux au championnat du monde, il y a Clément de Salle.
Welcome back to Saint-Jean-d'Angely, Western France, and out north of Bordeaux for the 6th round of the FIM MX1 Motocross World Championship. The MX1 riders are about to get underway in a couple of minutes or so for their second race of the afternoon in front of what is a pretty much bumper crowd, a sellout crowd here on this French Grand Prix circuit. Our winner from race 1, Tony Cairoli, will have his hands full with Gauthier Paulin and Christophe Pourcel. Xavier Bourg will be looking to finish on the podium in his home Grand Prix as well after a good 4th place finish in Moto number 1. Clément de Salle on the Rockstar Energy Suzuki World MX1 machine. He'll be disappointed to have finished in 5th. Bobryshev rode good though to finish 6th. Kendrick Dyker, probably the hardest charging rider through the field, from 16th on lap 1 to 7th on a very fast, demanding circuit here at Saint-Jean. Steven Frossard was 8th in a great ride for him on the Monster Energy Yamaha. Ruben Salves Honda World Motocross machine was 9th, and David Philippart's Monster Energy Yamaha was 10th. They had Sebastian Pourcel and Tanel Leoc. Mathis Caro dropped to 13th in the closing stage of the race on the STR KTM. Sean Simpson finished in 14th. Strybos, Boissier, Barrick and Guarnieri, Dean Ferris and Albus Just. Jamie Law, wildcard rider this weekend, in for the injured Nathan Parker, was 24th, just ahead of Alfie Smith. And there were no points for the likes of Milko Potazek, and Cedric Subaret failed to start the race. Fastest lap of the race in Moto number 1 was Gauthier Paulin, a 1:41.8. 3 laps to go on lap 17 as he charged down Tony Cairoli, at that time the race leader and then eventual race winner. Dave Nicol, our race director, brings this race under starters orders. The Monster Energy 15-second board goes up. That'll be followed by the 5. We just saw the 22 there of Kevin Strybos, HM Plant KTM UK machine, just taking a look down, making sure all the wheels were in line in that little starter up to give him the best traction coming out of the start line. The heads go down once again. Gauthier Paulin, Christophe Pourcel and Clément de Salle off balance there for number 21 Paulin. But who gets to the first turn? Cairoli storms that 350 KTM Red Bull machine. Oh, we've got a Suzuki down. Is it Leoc or is it de Salle? Not sure. No, de Salle's there. De Salle is upright. And Leoc's upright as well. So down the hill for the first time on a circuit that's now starting to dry out. Not too much time to prep and water the circuit after the second MX2 race a moment ago. So it's going to be back to the old school, hard and slick and blue groove in places. Throttle control is going to be key. One of the Honda riders there, buried in around about 10th place, but Tony Cairoli is who leads. Steven Frossard, that looks like at the top of the hill in 2nd. David Philippart, so Monster Energy Yamaha 2-3. Clément de Salle there in 4th. Pourcel is in 5th place. Then we've got Gauthier Paulin and Sebastian Pourcel on board with Xavier Bourg like we were in Moto number 1. He's down in 8th at the moment. And is that Bobryshev just ahead of him? I think it might be. Down the hill then. The big step down on the centre of this circuit at Saint-Jean-d'Angely. There's Caro dumping the clutch in that purple clothing on the STR KTM. He's down around about 12th, 13th position, but it's Cairoli who leads at the moment, from Frossard, from Philipparts to Salle, coming under pressure, maybe being passed. Yeah, being passed there by Christophe Pourcel. So the green Kawasaki of Pourcel finding a way through on the opening lap here as he edges out the 25 of Clément de Salle. There you top 5 riders. De Salle looking to have another go though, immediately. And in the background, we've got the 21 of Gauthier Paulin just there. He's in 6th place at the moment. So not the best of starts for the French rider on the factory Kawasaki, but Cairoli, 2 whole shots out of 2 for him so far. There's Christophe Pourcel looking to go around the outside, but might lose a position back again to Clément de Salle, who tries to put the squeeze on the Frenchman. De Salle then retaliates and squares back up. He's going to go around the outside here. Got no other option, and look at that. Stalls the bike, does Christophe Pourcel. Almost runs into the back of David Philippart. So instead of gaining a position, loses 3 positions there. And one of them to one of his rivals there, number 21, Gauthier Paulin. We heard his comments, Christophe Pourcel, after the first race. Doesn't particularly like Gauthier Paulin. He wouldn't have liked the way that he force an aggressive pass on him either, but Stephen Frossard in second and challenging Cairoli for the lead at the moment. They're number 183, the Black Monster Energy Yamaha. Teammate there, 19. Philippart's just behind him in third place. So some of the big hitters in this FIM MX1 World Motocross Championship race up front where they need to be. In fact, the majority: Cairoli, Frossard, Philipparts, DeSalle, Paulin, Christophe and Sebastian Pourcel, Rui Gonçalves and Xavier Bourg. They're your top 9. Kevin Strybos down in 14th place at the moment, ahead of Jonathan Barrigan, Sean Simpson and Tinel Liot. And then we've got Pierre Bertuzzo, or Pierre Filippo Bertuzzo, that should be. Alvis Just and Heron Bracker just inside the points in 20th place. Oh, back end is coming round a little bit on the 183, Stephen Frossard. How much has he got in this second race in terms of pain threshold with that knee problem that he's riding with at the moment? Said he's going to make a decision on Monday in terms of what his best move's going to be, depending on how much pain he has here this weekend, how comfortable, or how much is he riding on adrenaline right now? That's the question. We hope to see him, of course, in Portugal in a week's time. But nothing is certain. Xavier Bourg, does he get the squeeze here by Rui Gonçalves? Just gets past. Almost gets pushed up the bank there. Gonçalves losing that position, then losing a couple of positions. Also lost out to Sebastian Pourcel. Back with the leaders. Tony Cairoli, bottom of the hill, there in the orange KTM. That's the black Yamaha, the 183 of Stephen Frossard. His teammate just behind him, David Philipparts. He's in third, fastest man on track that time around. Tony Cairoli with a 143.7. So 3/10 quicker and 4/10 quicker than the two guys behind him. DeSalle now back into 4th place. Paulin 5th. Christophe Pourcel is 6th. Just saw that at the bottom of the hill there. Up the hill we go. Evgeny Bobryshev gets a good leap on there. And Bobryshev is way down. Bobrishev's been off the bike because he's now down in 24th position. And the 442, Adrien Van Beveren, the French rider on the 2B Yamaha. Maybe we see it here. Did he land all wrong? Because that was Xavier Bourg. Oh, big slide. That's going to hurt. Gravel rash all up the elbows there of Evgeny Bobryshev. Nothing like a little bit of claret on the white sleeve of the race top. We're in the right region for it. Anyway, Tony Cairoli leads. He's got a narrow advantage over Frossard and Philipparts. Here's a battle for the lead. Cairoli goes to the outside. Frossard goes to the inside. Doubling up rather than tripling like Philipparts there. Commander Sal a couple seconds off this lead group at the moment on that yellow Rockstar Energy Suzuki. Gauthier Paulin, though, about 1.5 seconds behind Commander Sal. Well, we saw him go past the Belgian in the first moto without too much trouble. Interesting to see whether he can do it again in his second race. Christophe Pourcel, though, he's still behind in 5th place at the moment. Sorry, 6th position behind Gauthier Paulin. There's Ken Didika, another rider then with a bad start. Down in 19th on the Red Bull KTM. Trying to find a way by 171, I think that is, Pierre Filippo Bertuzzo. As we look on board with Xavier Bourg in 10th place. Mattis Caro ahead of him on the STR KTM. Look how loose the ground is up here. Loose dirt, loose rocks coming to the surface. Those downhills steeper than you think, and also bigger holes than appear on the onboard camera shot there. Very easy to make a mistake when the ground's like this, but years of practice. Don't see too many hard and slick circuits like this nowadays. Circuits perfectly preened for the riders of this generation. Sometimes it's good, though, to have something like this, just to throw it back to the old school. Makes the riders think a little bit. Think about the throttle control, all the things they used to learn as a kid. Concentration levels have to be that little bit higher. Nothing wrong with a little bit of two-wheel drift every now and again, but bottom of the hill, Rui Gonçalves down in 7th position at the moment. Honda World MX rider. He'll be looking forward to getting to Portugal next week, although I'm sure he would have preferred to have been there 100% fit and healthy. But much like Stephen Frossard, currently in his 2nd race here. The crowd there may just give him that extra boost, being on home soil. Might have the chance to visit some family over the next week or so. And he's currently down behind Christophe Pourcel in 7th place at the moment. There's Gauthier Paulin. Has he closed in? Not enough at the moment, but he is closing in on 25 to Sal. Still utilising that line. Pourcel following that line this time around. This will be an interesting battle between Paulin, number 21, and the 377 of Christophe Pourcel. Both riders very patriotic. Both tough when they have to be. Certainly Gauthier Paulin was in that first race. We've got riders down in the top of the wave section, top of the hill in the next left. At the end of that wave straight. None of our leaders, obviously, but focusing here. Tony Cairoli goes through. He's completed 4 laps. He was fastest last time around with a 1:42.7. But that falls to David Philippart's 1:42.6 as he goes after his teammate now. As Philippart's here, coming up the hill, number 19, Monster Energy Yamaha. Didn't have a good ride in moto number 1, ended up down in 10th position. Pretty static throughout the whole moto, but give him a few laps here. We'll see what he can do towards the end of the race. Commander Sal, 25, Rockstar Energy Suzuki. Fighting for traction at the top of the hill as he drifts his way through that right-hand sweeping turn. Got Gauthier Paulin closing in again. De Sal 1:43.3. 1:43.2 actually, so nothing in it that time around, but since this come over the line, looks like Gauthier Paulin may have just grabbed another couple of tenths here or there. Christophe Pourcel not really being dropped too much either on the 377 Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki. Tony Cairoli and Stephen Frossard, though, still hanging on the rear wheel. Of Tony Cairoli, it was 1.8 at the end of lap 5. Doesn't look like that now, does it? This is the battle for the lead. That's the gap. Ooh, Cairoli, a rare mistake there. And Frossard goes around the outside. Listen to the French crowd. Got a mistake there at the top of the hill then for Cairoli. Just ran in a little bit hot, got off line. Now he's going back after the Frenchman, Stephen Frossard. So things really starting to come alive here. Pain in my knee, what pain? What knee injury? That's what he's thinking at the moment, Stephen Frossard, who currently leads the race at the moment. Got his hands full, though, with Tony Cairoli, Red Bull KTM, just behind him. There you lead in 2, off the back of the off the banking there. These two about 2.5 seconds clear of David Philippart's when they came through over the finish line to complete lap 6 just a moment ago. Philippart's all the way to the outside. De Sal and Gauthier Paulin, nothing in it between those two either. They're still there in 4th and 5th. Look at that, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, all pretty much on the same, also on the same part of the circuit. In fact, the first 5 riders separated by 6 seconds. All pushing good lap times as well. 45s, 44s, the MX2 guys though, 42s constantly. Only one rider in the 42s at the moment, that was that time around. Stephen Frossard, 1:42.9. Cairoli was a 45.3 due to that mistake that he made. 44 for Philippart's, 43 and 43 for De Sal and Paulin. We're getting ready to go down to pit lane, and I think we're getting ready to speak to. This is where Cairoli made the mistake. Just got in that rut there, not where he wanted to be. Stephen Frossard now then, he'll be pleased just to be leading here at home. Be a good feeling for him. Tony Cairoli, double doubles to the outside. Double single for Frossard, takes the inside route. We're going down to pit lane. Steve Guttridge is waiting to speak to us from Kawasaki. He's with Amy.
Joining me in the pit lane, Steve Guttridge of Kawasaki Motors Europe. Kawasaki are making a great comeback in the manufacturer's standing this year. After Brazil, they were first in the standings, so you can't be happy with this, right?
Oh, it's fantastic. We've put so much effort into it this year. The teams and the riders are doing such a great job. We have a really good standard bike. Christoph is on a standard bike, essentially, winning races, and first time we've been so competitive for so many years. So we want to win the world title, but also the manufacturer's title is really important for us.
Yeah, looking good for Kawasaki at the moment as Commander Sal and Christophe Pourcel find themselves going wheel to wheel, bar to bar, up the hill they go. Philippe Arts is still third, Tony Cairoli second. There's Gauthier Paulin, he's found a way through onto Sal, so too has Pourcel. So 2 positions lost in, well, as many corners really for the Belgian Commander Sal. Number 25 there, as he loses a position there to the 377 Christophe Pourcel. Down by pit lane they go. Body language from Commander Sal this weekend just hasn't really brought his A game with him. He's there or thereabouts, and just a little bit off colour, but he's still there. But when he's on, Commander Sal takes a strong rider and a strong personality to knock him off his perch, that's for sure. Frossard, though, still maintaining that inside line, protecting his investment at the moment as he comes over the line to take lap 8. Cairoli breathing all down his neck, the 5-time world champion, 2:22 on that orange Red Bull KTM. Still tripling his way to the top, gains a little bit of ground, but the corner bottlenecks at the top of the hill. Philippe Arts still third, only 2 seconds off these guys. A mistake there from Frossard, looks over his shoulder, sees Cairoli closing in. Cairoli, first race winner here, of course, a little earlier on in the day. Would love to make it 2 wins out of 2, just like his teammate Jeffrey Hurlings didn't finish on the podium in the Brazilian Grand Prix 2 weeks ago. So he would like to make amends here. He'd already be with the winner of the Grand Prix if he was to stay there in second, but such is the fighting nature of the defending champion and championship leader. He wants to go after the win, but look at that, all 3 riders now, 4 riders. What an exciting race this has turned out to be. Frossard, Cairoli, Philippe Arts, Paulin, all fighting over first place in the second moto. Well, Stephen Frossard, with just over 19 minutes plus 2 laps, has his hands full here. So too does Tony Cairoli, has his fellow countryman and former world champion from 2008, David Philippe Arts. I thought he was going to go through there. Philippe Arts goes round the outside, gets on the gas on the Monster Energy Yamaha. He doubles, no, he goes double single, follows his teammate through. Does he get on the gas? Thought he was going to be side by side there with Frossard as they hit the Monster Energy finish line jump, so nothing in it between the top 3 riders. Less than 3/4 of a second. Once again, Cairoli gets on the gas. He's going to go to the triple. He doubles and he's got the inside. He's got the advantage on Frossard and goes through. So 9 laps complete then. Cairoli goes through on lap 10. And David Philippe Arts, he's interested as well. Takes his teammate wide. He wants to go after Cairoli. Oh, Paulin up the inside as well. First to 4th in, what, 5 corners for Stephen Frossard. He's had a great time leading at the head of the field. But Gauthier Paulin has just appeared from nowhere. He had about a 1.5 second deficit. Wow, bar to bar up the hill. These 2 guys mean business. Tony Cairoli, he's in the best place at the moment as Gauthier Paulin goes back into second position. He's utilised that line so well throughout the weekend. He's been fast through those waves. And he's now jumped his way into second place. He's going after Cairoli. He ran out of time in moto number 1. He's got 17.5 minutes plus 2 laps in this second race here to do something about Tony Cairoli. And Commander Sal, he fancies his chances now on the fading Stephen Frossard. Look at that, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. And Christophe Pourcel there, 377. Don't rule him out. especially when all top 6 riders are, what, within about 3.5 seconds of each other. Second half of this race, though, Clément de Saux looks like he wants to get involved in the action. Tries to go up the inside of Frossard, who keeps it super tight. De Saux, he'll swing to the middle here. Will he go for the triple? No, keeps it double, single. Not going to get through unless he barges out of the way. The 183 of Steven Frossard, which he chooses not to do all the time. This is playing into the hands of the 377 of Christophe Pourcel on the CP377 Pro Circuit Monster Energy Kawasaki. This is 4th, 5th and 6th here. Top of the hill, 183, 25, 377. Frossard, De Saux, Pourcel. Pourcel's got the inside. Goes past De Saux. De Saux knew he was there. He tried to square off the Frenchman. Goes back into, yeah, he does, back in the 5th position. So well anticipated there, Clément de Saux. He pushes De Saux back. Sorry, pushes Pourcel back another position, back into 6th place. Well, good speed is the message on the board for Clément de Saux, but suddenly the gap between Cairoli, Paulin, Philipparts, Frossard, De Saux and Christophe Pourcel just suddenly has just become fragmented again. It's Christophe Pourcel there. He's in 6th position at the moment, 377. Clément de Saux, he'll be looking at trying to go back after Frossard. Might take another moment just to regroup as he starts to fall back a little bit here, almost into the clutches of Christophe Pourcel. He's going to get urged on. Good drive up the inside, starting to find some nice lines, Christophe Pourcel. Keeps it nice and tight. He'll jump down the left as we look at it. Back marker in the way there of Frossard at the bottom of the hill. Christophe Pourcel looking to go back up the inside. He's obviously getting good drive coming out of that bottom corner. Not hitting any accelerating bumps. So he was able to just run alongside De Saux at the top there on the previous lap. As De Saux closes back in on that black Monster Energy Yamaha of Steven Frossard. So Frossard doing a great job of keeping his machine there in 4th place at the moment. Tony Cairoli, meanwhile, at the head of the field, 2.2 seconds clear of Gauthier Paulin. So Paulin not able to do anything about that clear air that he had between himself and Cairoli when he got into 2nd position. Still 14 minutes plus 2. Still a fair way to go in the 2nd race as De Saux almost into the rear end of the Yamaha, looking to make a move down at the bottom of the hill, though. Frossard not going to allow the door to be forced open. But with 13.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go, Clément de Saux trying everything he can to find a way past Steven Frossard into 4th and almost loses both wheels, but it's Cairoli, Paulin, Philipparts, Frossard and De Saux all going after the win. Christophe Pourcel, he's back in the hunt there on that green Kawasaki. Number 377, got good drive again. Going to be on the outside, then square off Clément de Saux at the top of the hill here. He had a tighter line last time around. He's going to jump down the right-hand side here and maybe swing in at the bottom just to gain a little bit of momentum. Buries the Kawasaki deep. He's got the drive. He's got the run on the Suzuki. Wheel to wheel. Oh, just gets squeezed there by De Saux. This is for 5th place. The yellow Suzuki there, Clément de Saux, number 25. He's in that 5th position at the moment. The 377 Kawasaki. Christophe Pourcel just behind him. The guy just disappearing out of shot at the moment. 183 Steven Frossard riding injured. Doing a great job in 4th place. But 3 seconds further down the track is the 19 of Philippot. As Porcel looks to square and square off again. He's going to try and drive it down the inside. Nice line right on the outside here, though. Difficult to run the bike down the inside of the competitor into that right-hander when you take that outside combination at the top of the hill. Going to go to the inside here this time, Porcel. Oh, I thought he was going to have a bit of a love tap there on the rear wheel of the Suzuki of Clement South. Still can't find a way through. Christophe Porcel. Again, squares off early. Gets good drive again. A real game of cat and mouse between these two. DeSalle, 25 on the yellow. Suzuki. The 377, once again, utilizing that dirt, trying to bury the Kawasaki deep in. This time, he comes across to the right-hand side, protects the inside line there, and closes in on Stephen Frossard, does the 25 of Clement South. Oh, Porcel going to be in the right position here to make a move. Nice and tight. Will he be able to square off here at the bottom of the hill, or will he go around the outside? Brave move from Porcel. He's going to get squeezed. He's got to pull the pin. It's not going to work for him. Gets out of the roost, takes a look. So too does DeSalle. All three riders here side by side, and DeSalle goes round the outside of Frossard, who's now spent, I think, all his energy fending off the challenge from DeSalle, who goes through at the top of the hill, and Porcel goes through as well. Ten minutes plus 2 laps remain here. Tony Cairoli, Gauthier Paulin, they're away with it, about 1.6 seconds clear. But on that lap, we just saw Clement South and Christophe Porcel both go by Stephen Frossard at the end of pit lane. The French rider who led for a few laps at the beginning of the race, doing a great job hanging it out there at the head of the field, but in the end succumbing to the pressure of 25 DeSalle and the 377 of Christophe Porcel, as they now sit in 4th and 5th position. They're about 3 seconds down on David Philippot, who's just ahead of them. Cairoli at the top of the hill in the opposite direction with Gauthier Paulin. This time Porcel has the right line. DeSalle switches back to the left. Hard on the brakes. Again, DeSalle tries to square off. But does it pay off for him this time, or has Porcel found a way through? I think he has. So he's persisted, and it's eventually paid off for the 377. Oh, he gets caught there, the wrong side of the back marker. Santu Tienen, the Ice One Racing Kawasaki rider. So with just under 9 minutes to go, Cairoli 1.6 clear of Gauthier Paulin. David Philippot 7 seconds further back in 3rd. DeSalle 4th, where he was until he got passed just a moment ago by Christophe Porcel. Here's our race leader, Antonio Cairoli, Red Bull KTM. Going high and wide, taking the roost option. 1.9, so another 3/10. Oh, Barragan from 10th position on the LS Honda. So 15 laps completed for our first 7 riders. This is Cairoli roosting the outside here. Slides his back wheel into the berm, off the brake, on the gas. Nice roost shot. Pretty safe up there as well in terms of getting around that turn. No stop start, no loose marbles to catch you out. Claudio De Carli looking on pretty happy with his boy at the moment. As we mentioned earlier, a bit of a breeze picking up here, coming in from the coast. And Gauthier Paulin, where's Paulin? He was 2.2 seconds down, 1.9 seconds down. We've lost Gauthier Paulin. No, we haven't, have we? I think we have, yeah. There's Paulin. So Paulin's been down. He's down behind Clément de Sal. So not sure where Paulin went down, but right now it's Cairoli from Philippart then. Has he got stuff in the rear wheel of that Kawasaki on the left side, sprocket side? Trying to bounce back immediately. No, everything's all clean there at the back, but going after de Sal immediately. Look at that, Gauthier Paulin. He'll be frustrated. But whatever mistake he's just made has seen him down in 6th position at the moment. So Cairoli then, 12.5 seconds clear now of David Philippart's. Christophe Pourcel is in 3rd. De Sal, 25 here on the yellow Suzuki. He's in 4th place. Mark Verpalen, his mechanic, looking on there as he comes under pressure from Gauthier Paulin, who's in 5th, sorry. Oh, the back end gets a little bit out of control there from Gauthier Paulin. On the gas, dumped the clutch, back end came round on him, almost cleaned out him and de Sal. De Sal won't be happy with that. He'll try and go back after the Frenchman. Of course, it wasn't intentional. So Gauthier Paulin then, can he do anything about Christophe Pourcel? Just ahead of him here, 377, who's in that 3rd place. And David Philippart's about another 4 seconds further up. Watch this. Paulin just gets on the gas. Back end gets loose. De Sal saw it. He knew that Paulin was coming in pretty hot, pretty fast. This might be good, though, to fire De Sal back into life in the remaining 5:13 plus 2. Certainly the body language suggests that. David Philippart's here, number 19 in 2nd, coming under attack now from Christophe Pourcel. So he's closed up on the Italian. Christophe Pourcel, I think he's been down on the left side. That handguard just up a little bit higher than the other one. Or is it the right one that's gone missing? I think it is. Possibly been down on the right-hand side then. But nothing in it between Pourcel and Paulin. In fact, nothing in it between David Philippart's Christophe Pourcel and Gauthier Paulin. This is a battle for 2nd place. Philippart's will know somebody's there. Probably doesn't realise it's Christophe Pourcel. But the Italian, though, definitely got his hands full. French crowd urging on Christophe Pourcel on that green Kawasaki, number 377. Going to try the move that launched him past de Sal, and it works on David Philippart's as well. Philippart's has the edge, though, through the wave section, has he? No. Just gets squeezed there by Pourcel, who moves into 2nd place then. Gauthier Paulin closing in, 21. He's in 4th at the moment. Going after the number 19 on the black Yamaha and the blue clothing, David Philippart. You can do it. That's the message to Gauthier. .112, Jamie Law. Our wildcard entry this weekend on the STR Racing KTM. Trying to do the right thing, tries to get out of the way. Right, the riders come over the line then. 18 laps complete. Cairoli, 9.7 seconds clear of Christophe Pourcel. And Paulin goes up the inside of David Philippart. So Philippart just gets knocked out of 3rd position by the flying Frenchman, who's trying to get back into 2nd here and edge out Christophe Pourcel. 2nd overall in the podium, that'll be. So the two French then, Christophe Pourcel on the CP 377 Pro Circuit Monster Energy Kawasaki, he would like nothing more than to win over his teammate. Oh, Caro going a little bit wide at the bottom of the hill. Didika taking him wide and then putting him down. Obviously those two having a little bit of bar banging out on the track. The frustrated Ken Didika deciding to take out Mattis Caro, who now comes round in 14th position. Didika now in 9th place. So just over a minute to go. It's Cairoli, Pourcel, Philipparts. Sorry, Paulin, then Philipparts, then Desal, then Frossart. Sebastian Pourcel is 7th. Xavier Bourg is 8th. Rui Gonçalves is 9th. Ken Didika now 10th. Anthony Boissier is 11th. Kevin Strybos 12th. Guarnieri 13th. Caro 14th. Jonathan Barragan, Tanel Leot, Kenny Bobashev 17th. Lurk Leon, Sean Simpson and Heron Bracker, they top 20. It's Tony Cairoli. 2 corners after the finish line. Continues to lead here. 3 laps to go for him. That's what it'll be, because that 106 will tick down over on the far side of the circuit. He'll come around the next lap to take the 2-lap board. I think Christophe Pourcel has managed to put some gap between him and the 21 of Gauthier Paulin. About 2.5 seconds. Back marker looks the wrong way. Pourcel has to go to the inside. There's Paulin going through. 61, Heron Bracker, J.K. Gibbon, Yamaha. On the right-hand side, as we look at it, allows the 377, Christophe Pourcel, an easy passage through. Paulin, though, gets booked momentarily. Back marker looks back over his shoulder, though, sees the leaders coming through. Belgian supporters urging on Commander Sal, who's currently there in 5th place, still 3 seconds down on David Philipparts. So at this point then, it's going to be Cairoli, Christophe Pourcel and Gauthier Paulin, the top 3 on the podium, with the 2 French sharing 2nd and 3rd place points. Quiet race for Xavier Bourg this time around. Hasn't been up in the sharp end, but it's been in a, well, he's probably been in a bit of a battle actually, with Sebastian Pourcel and Rui Gonçalves. What a weird part of the racetrack that you drop out of the left-hander. Don't have to hit that jump too fast to get over it, that step down, but then it starts to get all chewed up, hard and slick and stony. As Frossard lighting up the rear end there of his Monster Energy Yamaha. Got Sebastian Pourcel breathing all down the back of him. The 442 of Adrian Van Beveren, 2B Yamaha rider, does his best to move out of the way. This is Frossard and Sebastian Pourcel, 6th and 7th, 183 and 11. French crowd getting behind both of these guys. Of course, some will have their preferences, some won't really mind too much, as long as there's something to cheer about, which there is at the front end, because Pourcel 6 seconds down on Gauthier Paulin. Cairoli already through, taking the 2-lap board, 20 laps complete for him, making his way round towards the finishing line area once again. Xavier Bourg there, 121. Trying to follow or find a way past Sebastian Pourcel. That's him just ahead of him there, number 11, dropping down into the final corner. Pourcel, Sebastian has Stephen Frossard just ahead of him on the black Yamaha. Back marker moves out of the way on the left-hand side. Final lap then. Tony Cairoli goes through, 4.4 seconds clear of Christophe Pourcel. It's more than 4 seconds out to Gauthier Paulin, so that's how it's looking for the top 3 in this race. And the overall podium, Cairoli, Christophe Pourcel, Gauthier Paulin. Commander Sal 5 seconds further back on the Rockstar Energy Suzuki in fourth. David Philipparts, though, only half a second between those two, so Philipparts could still be challenging here for a fourth in the final stages of the race. We're looking at Stephen Frossard, the 183, as he tries to go back after the 11 of Sebastian Pourcel. Here's Cairoli, end of the wave section for the final time, virtual Grand Prix winner for the Red Bull Factory KTM rider. Looked good yesterday in the qualifying race, despite not winning it. Looked happy just to sit there behind the 3 or 4 guys ahead of him before he made that little mistake in the corner just after the finish line jump, lost the front end. No time for celebrations because he knows he's only got about 4 seconds. Trying to keep the focus for the final 3 or 4 corners here, Tony Cairoli. And he's en route to picking up yet another Grand Prix victory. He won the overall at Valkenswaard in the Netherlands. He hasn't won since then, actually, so just the 1 overall Grand Prix victory for Tony Cairoli this year. Going to win for the 2nd time. And the checkered flag goes out. Cairoli wins here in France at Saint-Jean-d'Angely. 2nd in the race will be Christophe Pourcel. That'll be good enough for 2nd overall. 3rd will be Gauthier Paulin. Good enough for 3rd overall, but it could have been so much different because Paulin made that mistake and he was left to pay for it. Thomas de Salle 4th, David Philipparts 5th in the end. Stephen Frossard will wait for him to hit the line in 6th, and sorry, it's Sebastian Pourcel and Xavier Bourg, and then Stephen Frossard. So Frossard then losing out in the end, drops down to 8th place. Rui Gonçalves will wait for him to come over the line in 9th. He goes through now, and 10th should be Ken de Dijker of Red Bull KTM. But hopefully Amy's down there with our winner, Antonio Cairoli. But Cairoli just there in the background. Xavier Bourg just going by him, so won't get the interview straight away. Here's Tony Cairoli, here's Amy.
Congratulations, 2nd race winner of the day, and you've just won the GP of France. How are you feeling?
Yeah, you know, I feel really great, and I want to win this GP, you know. Christophe win in Italy the last round in Fermo, so like a few years ago we shared the GPs, and I win in France and he win in Italy, so I'm pretty happy and satisfied about the race. Thanks to everybody.
Well done, we'll see you on the podium in just a second.
So that's how they're playing it then. You win 1, I win 1, you win 1, I win 1. Tony Cairoli, though, happy to win in France. A little bit of payback against his old arch rival. Quick hook from girlfriend Jill. Rest of the team there as well. Good work from the Red Bull KTM guys again this weekend. Tony Cairoli, of course, double winner. Opens up his championship lead even further. Quick hook from Valentina. I wonder if they're a couple of budding French riders, stars of the future. Who knows? There's a moment though. Cairoli rounding out the final corner, en route to the checkered flag. Victory number 2 here this weekend, Saint-Jean. Tony Cairoli then wins the 2nd race here at Saint-Jean-d'Angely to go perfectly with the one he won earlier in Moto number 1. And he did so quite comfortably in the end, 4 seconds between him and Christophe Pourcel. But Gauthier Paulin, he'll be pretty annoyed with himself actually, having dropped to 3rd after holding 2nd for so long. Thomas de Salle 4th, points for him on the board at least. Philipparts was 5th, Sebastian Pourcel 6th, Xavier Bourg was 7th, Stephen Frossard was 8th. Rui Gonçalves 9th and Ken de Dijker 10th. Anthony Boissier, Kevin Strybos, Davide Guarneri, Mathis Caro 14th in the end for him after that tangle with Dodajka. Then Jonathan Barragan, Tanel Leot, Loic Leon, Sean Simpson, Heron Bracker and Pierre Filippo Bertuzzo. There you top 20. No points for August Just and Adrian van Beveren. And the rest of the guys, none for Alfie Smith or Evgeny Bobashev. Another problem for him in the closing stages of the race then. We always get a good crowd here. It's a perfect setting as well, really. Track on one side of the valley, the podium down at the bottom, the spectator area up in the opposite side. Really can see a lot from over there. Cairoli wins the Grand Prix, 8 points he gains over Christophe Pourcel, same over Paulin. 16 points on Dessau, so that's good for him. Cairoli, that is, Borg, Philipparts, Frossard. Dyke at 9th overall this weekend. Strybos, quiet day for him, 12th overall. Remember, he was 3rd last week, or 2 weeks ago in Belgium, in Brazil. Of course, he'll be looking forward to going to the Belgian Grand Prix in Bastogne in a couple of weekends' time, and of course, there's an Evo race there. All Prix 89 bikes. Championship looks like this. Tony Cairoli then extends his points further, but it's Pourcel now who moves to 2nd. Dessau drops to 3rd. Gauthier Paulin is 4th, and Ken Dodajka, David Philippart, Xavier Borg, and Kevin Strybos down in 8th, with Rui Gonçalves 9th, and Tanel Leot in 10th place. Dean Ferris had a quiet day today. Was getting caught in that first moto. Didn't really see too much of him or hear from him in the second race. Manufacturers Championship looks like this. KTM back in front. Kawasaki now 2nd, just 5 points behind those guys. Suzuki 3rd. Just losing the chase a little bit. Yamaha 4th, Honda and TM down there in 6th position. Getting ready to go down to the podium area. But the Belgian Grand Prix in Bastogne a couple of weeks ago. It's for the Prix 1990 bikes. You can either contact the ACU or Mark Powell's at Youthstream. But 3rd overall on the podium here at the French Grand Prix. Gauthier Paulin, official Kawasaki rider. Good crowd, appreciate his efforts this weekend as well. Christophe Pourcel, 2nd overall, CP377 Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki rider. No love lost between those two, no handshakes either, but Tony Cairoli, a faultless display this weekend, 2 wins out of 2, 50 points on the board, and takes 8 points over Christophe Pourcel, 16 out of Clément Dessau. Claudio De Carli, team manager for Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, on hand, as always, for MX1 to collect the Manufacturers Award. Winning manufacturer this weekend, of course, French Grand Prix. Francis Fourgard, CDC president, hands a 3rd place trophy to Gauthier Paulin. He'll be disappointed with that. He would have loved to be at least being 2nd. Christophe Pourcel gets a 2nd place trophy from Claude Berger from M3. And Tony Cairoli, the winner's trophy, delivered to him by Jean-Pierre Mugin, CNOCF. 80 years this Motor Club Algérien has been going. Seen some fine racing here today. Jean-Marie Boissonneau, the president of the Motor Club himself, delivers the winning manufacturer's trophy to Claudio De Carli. Tony Cairoli gets another red plate though. He still leads the championship. Dr. Wolfgang Schrub, the director of the Motocross Commission, FIM, delivers it right on cue. Tony Cairoli though, the winner here this weekend, holds his trophy aloft and his red plate, and he gets ready to listen to the Italian national anthem once again. 2nd time of the year for him. just like in MX2, KTM winning manufacturer this weekend. Here's the national anthem for Austria.
Du constructeur, le constructeur KTM Autriche.
On what was a great occasion here, the 80th anniversary of Motor Club Algérien. The French crowd filled the area here to watch the Grand Prix. Unfortunately for them, it was Tony Cairoli, another French rider, who stood on the top step of the podium. And Tony Cairoli, Christophe Pourcel, Gauthier Paulin, the top three this weekend here, round 6 of the FIM MX1 Motocross World Championship. They spray the fizz. The crowd appreciate their efforts. We'll get down and speak to them as soon as we can. But been a tough weekend here. It was a hot weekend to start with. A little bit cooler today, but still quite muggy. And the circuit here, very, very physical. But here's what happened in race 2. Gauthier Paulin looked to try to go too early. Didn't get a good start as a result of that. Instead, it was Tony Cairoli swept across everybody to lead every single lap of this race here. Suzuki rider went down at the back of the grid, but Cairoli led until this mistake from him led to Stephen Frossard, allowed Cairoli made that mistake. Frossard went through, and then Cairoli retaliated, and so too did David Philipparts immediately. So in the space of 2 corners, Stephen Frossard went from first to third. Just behind them, Gauthier Paulin was on the charge first. He found a wild and erratic route through on Commander Sal. Christophe Pourcel found a way up into second place past David Philipparts. Tony Cairoli then rounded out the final corner. He took the checkered flag behind him. It was Christophe Pourcel. Gauthier Paulin eventually dropped to third. Sal was fourth. David Philipparts was fifth. Cairoli won the Grand Prix. Christophe Pourcel was second. Third was Gauthier Paulin. We're going down to the podium. Here's Amy. She's with Cairoli.
Tony, congratulations on winning the GP of France. You took a huge race lead in that second moto.
Yeah, you know, this track probably really hard like this. You need to get good start, and I was looking forward already from yesterday qualification race. Yesterday was so-so. My riding today was even much better, and we made some changes on the bike, and today the bike works really better than yesterday, and I could take 2 all shots almost. And on the second race, Stephen Frossard, was nice to see him back on the top there. Maybe he don't have the condition because he's not training from long already with the problem in the knee. But then after, when I passed him, I tried to pull away a little bit, and then Paulin make a mistake, crash, and I had some free in front of me, and I could take some good gap. Only in the end, I try make some trouble with some lap rider, and I lose a lot of seconds, and Christophe was coming really close. But for me, it was important to take the lead. Doesn't matter how far in front, but 25 points and 2 times 50 is good, and for the championship.
Well done. You keep hold of that red plate for the GP of Portugal.
Good day at the office then. Of course, Gauthier Paulin was within striking distance within a couple of seconds, keeping Cairoli honest until he made that mistake, dropped back to 5th himself. But can't take it away from the 5-time world champion, Tony Cairoli. Said it's not his favourite surface, the hard-packed circuit, after moto number 1, but he's dug in, he's just got on with the job at hand, and the Red Bull KTM rider, a double moto winner here, and a French Grand Prix winner as well. He goes to Portugal in a week's time, still as a championship leader, having built up a nice, comfortable gap between himself and the rest. Second overall was Christophe Pourcel. He's now second in the championship. He's down by the podium with Amy.
Christophe second in the GP and now second in the championship.
Yeah, it's good. You know, today my start was super bad. I think it was about the gate. It was super slippery after it. So, but it's good. You know, I came back second, and we had a good race. I like Antonio. He's riding really good, and it's going to be a good championship for this year.
Well done.
Quand on est au volant ou au guidon, on boit de l'eau.
Short and sweet, happy to be second overall. As he said, Tony Cairoli was just probably a little bit too quick today, but still points on the board for Christophe Pourcel. He's now second in the championship chase. What's he going to do in Portugal in a week's time, though? Agata. We'll have to wait and see. Of course, you can see that all live on MX Live TV and Motors TV as well. And we'll be completely live as always. Had a good ride, though, did Pourcel in that second race. Third in the race, third overall in the Grand Prix was Gauthier Paulin, the factory Kawasaki rider, riding for KRT. He'll be disappointed. He was disappointed to finish second in the first race. So let's hear what he has to say.
Such a close race in that second moto, and also such an exciting race for your fans.
Yeah, it was a great race. Not as good as I want, you know. I had a normal start and then back second behind Tonio. He didn't do any mistake, and I was just feeling really good on the bike, and I was doing a double that nobody was doing. And once I had a mistake, I landed in the one bump and just get over the bike and get over the bar, and the bike was completely wrong way on the downhill, and it was just so hard, and I hurt my head. I was a bit like, don't know where I was, and be back on the bike, try to put the bike on the good way. I slide just the head on the ground like 3-4 meters, and run again to the bike. Was pretty difficult after to came back on Philippe Hertz de Salle, which is so many good riders, but still finished third from this GP. I was looking forward to do better, but I'm here, you know, I'm strong, and I'm gonna get some rest this week and be back again for Portugal.
For sure, nevertheless, congratulations on finishing third.
Tough weekend, tough second moto then for Gauthier Paulin. There was obviously a double then that he said he was jumping, that other riders weren't. Got it wrong. And well, that was it. Banged his head a little bit, found it difficult to get back into the groove, as it were. But he still got back to third. That was good enough for third overall, but as he said, he would have preferred to have been better placed than that this weekend, at least second. But he would have obviously got his eye on the bigger prize. He wanted to win his home Grand Prix here at Saint-Jean d'Angely, but now he's going to have to wait until Portugal in 1 week's time when we go to Agata. Don't forget, you can catch our interview on our exclusive live show on MX Live with our winners Cairoli, Pourcel, and of course Gauthier Paulin, and maybe even Jeffrey Hurlings. That's it from Saint-Jean d'Angely this weekend. My name is Paul Mellion. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in 1 week when we do it all over again in Portugal. Thanks for watching. We'll see you then. Bye for now.
once the rain has stayed at bait for a race day here in Saint-Jean-d'Angely in France. On the podium, joining me now, the MX1 winners, Tony Cairoli, Christophe Pourcel and Gauthier Paulin. We're going to start off with Tony. Tony, talk to me about your weekend.
Yeah, you know, I'm pretty happy. I struggled a little bit yesterday with the bike, with some setting, and actually I wasn't so fast yesterday. I to be honest, we didn't really know what was the problem. But then we made some changes on the bike with the Carly, my team manager, and yeah, this morning already the bike was working great, and I felt much better. And yeah, I don't have nothing to say. You know, when you get a good start like this on a track like this, it's better because it's not so easy to pass, and you win already off race if you have already good start. So I work a lot on the starts lately, so I'm pretty happy about how it goes. So I'm happy and looking forward for the next GP in Portugal. It's one of my favorite tracks, and should be nice.
And we haven't had a chance to catch up since Brazil. It wasn't your weekend, but kind of like you're obviously showing that was just a one-off.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know what happened in Brazil. I mean, normally I'm not so bad in the mud, but I really didn't know how to ride. I made a lot of mistakes, and the bike was so heavy, and yeah, I struggled a lot on the two races there, and yeah, I win a lot of races on the mud actually, but in that kind of situation I wasn't prepared, and I was pretty disappointed about that GP, but always looking forward for the next one, and hopefully to do better always.
And we just mentioned the next one is GP of Portugal. What is it about that track that you like so much?
Yeah, I win a lot of GPs on that track, and also in a row, so I don't know, I like the track. You know, it's a rough track with a pretty soft ground, so I like when it's like that. More lines, hopefully you can invent more different things, and in a track like today, you have to go on that line. You know, it's you cannot make so much new stuff, and I prefer more soft ground. And Portugal, it's nice track, and hopefully it doesn't rain so much because it always rains there. But anyway, we're looking forward again for this GP and for another race for the championship.
Thank you, Tony. We're going to come over now to Christophe. You guys switching home GP wins.
Yeah, that's what we say to each other. Like I gotta let him go in Italy, and then he's gotta let me pass here. So that was funny to make a joke like this. But yeah, you know, it wasn't too bad for me. I don't like that track, and I think the track wasn't for me today because it was super like wide open track, and yesterday was pretty hard pack, and that's what I like. So it's fine. I mean, I wanted to be on the podium. I'm happy, and Antonio rode a great race, so it's all good.
And also, on top of that, second in the championship now.
Yeah, second up for the championship. There's only 6 races for now, and we have 10 races to go. So it's all good, and I'm trying to be on the podium every weekend, and I'll be happy.
And the French fans here today, and of course yesterday, have been absolutely amazing. I mean, we were saying on the podium in Italy that you just heard the 222 as you were coming around, and today when you guys were driving past, the French fans were going crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think in Italy the crowd is a little like closer from the track, so it would be nice if the people can be like next to the track, you know, sometimes. So I think in Italy they do a good job for that, because people are like just crazy, and almost like when you jump you think you're gonna jump in the people. So this is nice, but yeah, the people here was nice too. So it's a crazy crowd.
Thank you, Christophe. And we come over to Gauthier. Gauthier, talk to me about your weekend. There's that second moto, you had a crash towards the end, which was such a shame because you, up until that point, you were running such a great race.
Yeah, I had a really great race. I mean, like I say, still since the start of the season, I feel great on my bike. I'm healthy. I was here I was riding for the win, and but Tonio, it was really fast. He was just. He didn't have any mistake, and he had a great ride, so I'm still happy, you know. So it's good for a championship. I'm here, I'm fighting for it, and I proved that I had a really good speed, I had a good technique, and just need to continue working like that. Championship is still really long, and yeah, I enjoy to ride with them.
And we've had a bit of a break now since Brazil. What have you been up to? Have you been able to get back to your normal routine?
Yeah. Back from Brazil, I mean, I had some bad luck in Mexico. Then in Brazil, I had a crash. Otherwise, I was riding good in the mud, and I was all right with the jet lag. You know, I don't have a lot of difficulty with that. So no, pretty good. I was at home, and now I go back home. I'm going to fly to Portugal. So no, it's going to be a good weekend.
Cool, and we'll see you in Portugal. Also joining us now on the podium, MX2 winner Jeffrey Hurlings. Jeffrey, we're going to have to squidge up a bit here, guys. Come on, tighter. Oh, Tony's off. Jeffrey, talk to me about your weekend. How has it been for you?
Yeah, it's been good. You know, I had a solid first moto. Second moto was a little bit harder. You know, I had a bad start and it's difficult to strike the pass. But finished the second, so first out of second, and first overall is good.
And you're looking forward to Portugal? Are you looking forward to Portugal?
Yeah, definitely. Portugal will suit me much better than the French type of tracks. You know, they're special, they're rock hard and kind of like concrete. But you know, it's been good. You know, I went here to get on the podium and made it a win. So definitely go to Portugal for double moto in and to get even more points.
Thank you, Jeffrey. And as we just heard, we'll see you next week for the GP of Portugal.